a spina or median with monuments brought in from the regions. These monuments were a reflection of Rome's power, but were also used to deliberately block the view of the spectators, adding to the suspense as the chariots disappeared and reappeared from behind the spina as they rounded the deadly U-turns. The Hippodrome was also a place for citizens to confront their emperor, sometimes resulting in bloody riots. After a chariot race in 532 AD, angry protesters began a revolt against Emperor Justinian. After 5 days of protest, between 30 to 50,000 rioters were slaughtered. Called the Nika Revolt, the bodies of its victims are rumored to be buried in the bowels of the Hippodrome. Byzantine bones, spectators' seats, no one knows for sure what they'd find layered beneath today's pavement. But 3 surviving monuments from the Hippodrome Spina serve as the perfect gauge for determining how much the ground level has changed in almost 1700 years.
If you go look down, you can see the original level of this Spina.
Right.
It is like almost 15 feet down.
But Chimen suggested before we went down, we should go up to really understand the evolution of the Hippodrome. We were given special permission to climb one of the 6 minarets or towers of the famous Blue Mosque, the highest vantage point in the old city. The iconic mosque took the Ottomans 7 years to build. Completed in 1616, it's believed to sit directly above the ruined western stands of the Hippodrome and the remains of the royal box.
We're climbing 135 steps. Low wire here. I never thought I'd be inside a minaret. A little darkness here. It's incredible. Definitely worth the climb. So you can roughly see what would have been the outlines of the Hippodrome from about that green fountain where the road follows around was this massive race course, goes around the obelisks, and right around that building all the way around here you would have seen chariot races and all the festivities that went on in the Hippodrome. This must have been a massive place.
But the transition from horses rounding the tracks to modern streets didn't happen overnight. The tradition of the Hippodrome came from the pagan Greeks, but in a city full of both Christian and Muslim influences, it's no wonder it ended up buried beneath the ground.
This Hippodrome, for 1,000 years, center, heart of the Roman Empire. It was important for Byzantine also, but the importance changed because in paganism you live in this earth, in this life, but in Christianity this is your suffering place. If you are going to be a good believer, you don't have time to joy for entertaining.
The pious Byzantines may have had no time for the Hippodrome, but it was another religious group who silenced the stands for good. In 1204, during the Fourth Crusades, the city walls were breached and the city was pillaged beyond recognition. Almost everything, including the Hippodrome, was destroyed. They looted 4 5th-century bronze horses from the Hippodrome and took them back to Venice. For centuries, they were on display at St. Mark's Cathedral. When the Ottomans conquered Istanbul in 1453, the Great Hippodrome was in ruins.
The Ottoman Empire also paid importance to this place. This was the center of the city. That's why they built all their beautiful buildings around here.
Much of the elevated ground level came about when debris from building the Blue Mosque was dumped to the side, right onto the old racetrack. Construction of other Ottoman buildings in the square did the same. So beneath the square, we'd find the racetrack of the Hippodrome. But just a few minutes walk down a natural valley, Chimen showed us the only structural part of the Hippodrome still standing. It's called the Sphendome.
You see, this is a Sphendon. This is the outer wall of the Hippodrome. It has a curve, and when we have a curve and a higher platform, we call it Sphendon.
Today, on top of the Sphendome, sits a more recent layer of the past, Sultan Ahmet's Technical High School.
This is a 3rd century wall. It was part of the Hippodrome. And right now, its construction is so solid that it's holding up the school.
Based on the Circus Maximus in Rome, the Hippodrome was built into a natural valley. Engineers first closed off the south end of the valley with a U-shaped wall called the Sven-Dome. It rose over 40 meters and linked up with the stands, while the racetrack lay below on the valley floor. While the track was flat, the ground sloped down towards the Sven-Dome, creating a cavernous backstage, starting where the track ended and the Sven-Dome began. This area was rumored to be intact, and we'd been granted special permission to get inside.
A little difficulty opening the gates to the Hippodrome.
Goeie nachtje.
Pretty exciting here. We have some friends down here. We got some like little dung beetles or something. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are we seeing here? It looks like actually like it's sort of naturally filled in on itself, like maybe the roof gave in. I can't tell if this was filled in or not. It's hard to get a sense. But this cave goes back further, but I don't think we're going to be able to get back there, at least through this way.
Off the circular corridor were about 6 rooms, and inside each a caved-in entrance to another tunnel, possibly leading to the Hippodrome.
So this room and all these other chambers like this would have been behind the scenes. It would have been like in NASCAR, a pit stop, right? The race car blows a tire, needs more fuel. They might have come right in here. They could have had chariot supplies, wheels, water, anything you need. And 100,000 screaming people were standing right out there. I see steps. Oh, wow. Can you hear that? Can we explore down here? I hear something scampering around.
Be careful, Eric.
I'm trying to be careful here. Looks like it's a good 30, 40 feet up from here. And the masonry and the stonework looks impeccable. And it'd have to be if it stood up for, oh, let's say 15, 1600 years. Looks like I can't take another step down because it looks like it's flooded out down here. Yeah, this does look like it's probably the end of the road for us.
Water seemed to prevent further exploration until...
Hassan Bey? Yeah. Nice to meet you, Hassan.
Hassan Oral is an urban cave explorer who's navigated tunnels and waterways beneath the entire city.
Take some of the boats.
Okay. So we've got simply a rubber raft in there? Yes. Rubber boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been in here before? Have you been?
No, this is the first time.
Yes. So you don't know what you're going to find, do you?
No. Down is the L80, the one.
Gotcha.
Okay, now let's go inside.